competing for Zimbabwe at the Cup of Nations finals in Morocco at the end of the year. So certainly one more season for him you would fancy. Chiefs underway. They're in their traditional colours. Gallants in this darkish blue-green strip of theirs. Chiefs attacking the goal to the right-hand side, looking now to get back to winning ways. It's a massive month ahead for them. The derby next Saturday here against Orlando Pirates. Solomon's losing possession almost immediately. That was the reason that the coach took him off in the last game. That's not going to get Nazruddin Nabi too pleased in these early stages. So the derby next Saturday for Chiefs, then the cup final, the Nedbank Cup in Durban against Pirates again on May the 10th. They've got Sekhukhune United in their penultimate league match, and they finish at home here against Polokwane City on May the 24th. Only 2 games left for Gallants, as we previously mentioned.
Going to be interesting to see if Kaizer Chiefs are going to use the quick counter-attack tactic, or are they going to look to build up? We see early on there Mart being a bit careless, and this is what I think has been the undoing of Kaizer Chiefs at times, but Lexi Daisic in the build-up phase, which has cost them.
Dion playing it back. This is Mokobodi, and foul on the Zimbabwean Nsindami. So Gallants will have the first set-piece opportunity from the free kick, and certainly an opportunity to float it in. They've got big men that they'll be moving forward. The 2 centre-backs, Matiani and Sibia, will add in some height there. Perfect opportunity to get off to a bright start here, Marumo Gallants. And Nsindami will take it, curl it, and put far too much on it. That's a disappointing delivery.
Yeah, the quality lacking there. The idea was good, Mark. It was just the execution. I think he was looking to go towards the far post and maybe have it nodded back in, but application lacking.
Kwinika, Solomons. Good press here from Gallants, and Dion, the linesman said, was onside. So the pressure continues, trying to get something down on the overlap for Mabocha. Dion nice and strong. Sibia and Matiani, between them 66 years of age. It's a rather aging Marumo Gallants lineup.
Well, we saw Kaizer Chiefs trying to build up from the back. When you don't have the quality of players to build up, you shouldn't risk it. You know, your players determine your tactical approach.
Now, a bit of a mix-up here with Solomons and with Kwinika, and a rather poor delivery from Vuma as well. It's all gone wrong early on here, and Nazruddin Nabi just told his technical staff just to cool it down a bit. They're obviously getting a little hot under the collar. Good work here from Mabocha into the penalty area. Big strong clearance away from Kwinika. I'm not sure Bradley Cross has ever played in the centre-back position before, certainly not in his time with Chiefs. Headed in from Dion. Vuma makes a fairly routine save right at the goalkeeper. Perhaps not enough power on it, but what it does say, Farouk, is that there are openings early on here for Gallants.
Well, absolutely. You have 2 players there. You have Kwinika and Solomons, and Dion still gets a head on it, which is a cause for concern.
Cross will find Kwinika. That's a nice little touch from Mark. Now, lovely ball in here for Duba. Tight angle, looks for the pass, in fact, and well, Lilepo nowhere near the action, and you wonder where was actually the prayer as well.
Well, the big question is, if your number 9 is going as wide as we saw Duba, who do you play the ball to in the box? because Duba should be the man in the center with the likes of Dupree and Solomons giving him the service.
Promising attack nevertheless for Kaizer Chiefs, and here they come again into the penalty area, just outside. They win the foul. Decision going against Matlatsi.
Matlatsi caught for pace. Tele was not the quickest, able to get in behind him, and Matlatsi fouling him.
Free kick here for Kaizer Chiefs, who have their first set piece opportunity of the game, moving players forward themselves. Ruby looking just to sort out the defensive situation. Gallants with everyone back inside the penalty area. Now let's see what Chiefs can conjure. This is Shabalala, little flick to the back post. Lilepo high up into the sky, and that'll be a goal kick.
Well, I think it's something from the training field. Lilepo was expected to play that ball across, but instead the angle was very tight, and going for goal wasn't the best option. But I think more than anything else, Mark, he was caught for height. His anticipation and his ability to read the flight of the ball left him wanting.
Nube to take the throw in. Now marked with possession for Kaizer Chiefs. Solomons and Quinica. Certainly a new centre-back pairing, the combination of Cross and Quinica. Cross ceding his position on the left-hand side to Mashiani, who's played 2 cup matches in the starting lineup for Kaizer Chiefs this season, but this is the first time he gets a league outing. This is Quinica's second league outing of the season.
He's looking for options. It doesn't seem like any of the Chiefs players ahead of him were showing up. See Dupree playing very close to Duba. The tactic is we use Solomons to give us width and Dupree to go inside.
Now here's a chance. Solomons on the overlap, and Duba's pass just a little too strong. Means a throw in for Mabocha. Flick on from Msindami, and a free kick in favor of Sedi Dion. 3 goals for Dion since arriving from Amazulu on loan.
Solomons needs to settle down. Quick player, very dynamic, but erratic at times.
This is Matiani. Nube. Fortuitously falling here for Gallants. Maybe something on here as Nemtanjala plays it out wide to Msendami, looking for the return pass. Mabocha on the edge of the area, marked away. Lilepo playing for the moment on the left-hand side. Now a bit of pace from Lilepo. This looks promising for Kaizer Chiefs. Good shot! What a goal! What a goal! Cutting inside, the Congolese strikes it firmly with the right foot. No chance for Chiefs have the lead.
Clearly a moment of brilliance, individual brilliance from Lilepo. Came in on his stronger foot, and the defense of Marumo Gallants caught one thing, didn't close him down. What a fantastic goal from Lilepo. Great individual brilliance.
Kaizer Jr. at the top there, pumping his fists. Happiness is Kaizer Chiefs in the lead here as Lilepo claims yet another league goal. It says officially 4, but we all know one of those was complete load of nonsense. It was an own goal by Ofori, so this is the 3rd of the season for him, and what a goal it is indeed. First one since February as well for the big Congolese. He was dropped a couple of weeks ago against Mamelodi Sundowns in the cup match, but he has responded, and it's going to be very difficult to drop him now. There was a little bit of a deflection there of Vusi Sibia, which maybe made it a bit more difficult for Arubi, but the power behind that shot really gave the goalkeeper no chance.
Well, he was looking for that window, and when he saw that window appear, he made sure that he placed it between the keeper and the far post.
Now, is there a quick response here? Limtanjela, he had options ahead of him. Dion trying to wrestle the ball back. There's a little bit of confidence now in the Kaizer Chiefs ranks.
Chiefs need to use this early goal to settle down and to start ensuring that they manage the game better and not allow Marumo back in.
Quinica.
Not necessarily what the doctor ordered. Quinica, you are goal up, keep the ball, look for the right opportune time to play the vertical pass.
Now Mokobodi over on the far side will get the foul off of, or Mahlatsi rather, will get the foul off of Yusuf Mat. Well, that goal will settle things down here for an under pressure Kaizer Chiefs coming into this game with a poor run of form of late. Very disappointing performance in their last match against Chippa. Stolen away by Mokobodi. Mahlatsi in support. Chance at the back post. Well, he had time and space there. The Zimbabwean Msindami.
He had so much space and time. He could have taken it on the chest, brought it down and picked his spot. And you can see there Dion saying to him, listen, you had more time than what you thought. Once again, Chiefs a little bit careless in midfield. Great ball played in. 2 against 2 on the far post. He had all the time in the world, and that's where Dion is saying, put it on the chest. You can see him showing him there that you had more time than, yeah, it says, you could have put it on your chest.
Another set-piece opportunity, though, for Marumo to make amends. It's a high floater, too close to Vuma, who makes a confident catch. 6 clean sheets for him in the league so far this season, another 2 in cup matches. More games this season, Bruce Vuma, than he's ever had in a single season before. Very firmly now establishing himself as top man in the Chiefs' goalkeeping pecking order.
Mark, a very good shot stopper, and needs to work about ensuring that he controls that goal area of his when there's balls floated in.
Now Solomon's in the challenge with Mahlatsi.
It seems like took one to the leg there. We see Mahlatsi not playing the ball but playing the man.
26-year-old Motlatsi, 1 goal this season against Magesi in December. He's only scored 4 in his entire career, despite playing a lot of it in an attacking position in his days with Swallows and SuperSport United. Shabalala turning. Now Quinica to Solomons. Applying a decent press here. Our Gallants at times. Mashiani under a little bit of pressure. Looks at times to be tucked in a little bit, Mashiani, not in a traditional left-back role. Rather aimless ball across field.
Kaizer Chiefs giving away possession unnecessarily without much pressure. They need to be patient, keep that ball, use the likes of Lelepo, Dupree and Duba up front. Getting the service to them is important.
Now something for Motlatsi to chase onto. Solomons is going to let this go away for a goal kick. And we are just past the quarter-hour mark here. That early goal from Glody Lelepo, putting Kaizer Chiefs ahead in these early stages. Well, it's gone Gallants' way.
Wasn't much in that particular tackle. And you can see the Chiefs player is not happy. Let's look at it closely here. Dupree has it. It's more of a collision there between Motlatsi and Dupree. Very fortunate to get the call.
Well, they've had their chances from set pieces, Marumo Gallants. Let's see if they can convert this one. This is from Sindami again. The previous free kick he took, perhaps a little bit too much on it. Once again, all the big men are forward to see if Gallants can equalize in these early stages. Goes for goal. Little flick on, back post opportunity. Corner's been given. Well, that was a little bit of a surprise, I think, in terms of the execution.
Took a wicked deflection of the wall and some good defending there on the far post.
Lelepo was the man who had the last touch here. He saw the danger, came in here, the goal scorer.
Yeah, Lelepo did well. Dion was waiting to pounce.
So, corner. Up in the air again. Quinica and cross, battling to clear. Vuma's in trouble here. Another corner.
Poor defending from the Chiefs' defense to clear their lines.
Oh, in fact, it's a goal kick. It did point initially at the corner, but goal kick now being given.
Well, the ball's in the air. Quinica as well as Mart trying to get to that particular ball, and in the process they almost caused problems for their defense.
Well, in the end, a free kick, I think, has been given in favour of Chiefs. Tries to clear their lines, and now to get the pace of Ashley Dupree going up against Vuzi Sibia. They were teammates together at Stellenbosch. Quick throw in from Mart, in search of Dupree again. Danger was read by Matiani. Trevor Matiani broke a run of 11 successive seasons in the top flight when he moved to Baroka last season, played one campaign in the Motsepe Foundation, but back again in the big show now with Marumo Gallants. Mashiani with a left foot to take the set piece, try and curl it in. There are no players on top of Arubi, so maybe not that much of a curl. Again, another set piece in this game that's overcooked.
Wasted opportunity. Mashiani should have done better. Maybe ensure that he gives his attackers in the box an opportunity to make contact. And that ball left everybody standing. What suits Kaizer Chiefs is maybe to play that long ball over the top and utilize the speed of Lelepo, Dupree and Duva. But the build-up has seemed to fail them, Mark, on most occasions. They lose the ball in transition, and maybe this will be an opportunity to prove that they can build up from the back.
Lele finds cross. Sabia at the back has a look around. He's under a bit of pressure here from Shabalala. It gives him enough time though, sitting right on top of him, but then just backed off a bit to give Sabia time to clear that. Duba with the last touch here goes back to cross. He's looking out to the left. Lelepo. They'll start again with Vuma at the back and with Quinica. First game of the season for Quinica against Chipper last time out. Mashiani looking for the run from Lelepo. Good interception from the youngster Ngube.
See, the coach is fuming at Quinica, kicking the ball long when there's absolutely nobody that he finds with that pass.
Dupree now trying to hold off. Little touch in from Mabocha. This time clearance from Quinica perhaps a little more apt. And the last touch coming off Matiani. Abramcello in picture, the owner of Gallants. The sports minister is on hand as well. That's got to be the greatest job in the world. Farouk, you go from one sports event to the next, watching from the VIP suites.
Well, it's a sport that everybody enjoys, but if you're getting paid to do it, why not?
Cross into touch. But there's a Gallants player down here. The referee has allowed play to continue, though. He's not paying much attention. Now we will have some treatment for Seli Dion. He might have hurt his wrist or his elbow. Just clutching his wrist there.
At first it looked like somebody stood on it, but let's look at it closely. I think it's just the way he fell. I don't think anybody stepped on his foot. It's just the way he fell.
Well, sometimes when you put all your weight onto
and he's a big fellow.
Yeah, an outstretched hand like that,
yeah,
you really feel it.
He'll be back, yeah, you can see. And to think that his team was on the attack when he shouted out
10 matches, for 10 matches for Abdeslam Wadu today. 3 wins, 3 draws and 3 losses in his previous 9. There's the live log as things stand now. Kaizer Chiefs would solidify their place inside the top 8, move up to 33. Remember that log table is still a little bit distorted because they have yet to officially remove the points gained from the Royal AM matches, so it would be 1 point less. And of course, usually teams would play a total of 30 games in the season. This campaign is going to be 28 for everybody. Over the head of Duba, back from Dupria, chance here for Mart. Duba again, Solomon's on the right foot, into the arms of Arubi.
Once again, Marumo showing their deficiency in dealing with the long ball over the top. And this is how the Chiefs can actually exploit that weakness.
Well, they certainly had their chances, Marumo Gallants, in this game to find themselves on the score sheet. Caught by that wonderful goal from Lilepo. But for the rest, Gallants perhaps more attacking of the two sides. Sendami will win the foul off Solomons.
Yeah, Solomons again giving away a foul in an area where you try not to. Very close to your goal. Needs to look. He has to be a bit more patient. There was no need to do what he did there.
Once again, Sendami to take it. His Zimbabwean colleague Junior Zindoga out for the rest of the season with a leg fracture. Throw in to be taken by Ngube. He only made his debut, Ngube, in February against Amazulu, but very quickly bedded down a regular position for himself here on the right-hand side of Gallants' defence. That's the man who has the goal, Lilepo, signed in the January transfer window. Shabalala being hunted down, does well to find some space. Solomon's inside here. Duba, good challenge from Mabocha. Now Sendami has the ball stripped away. Mashiani to Mart. Lilepo cuts inside, finds Shabalala. This is more promising. Over the top, too strong.
Once again, the quality of that final pass eluding Kaizer Chiefs.
Shabalala puts his body on the line there. There was a strong challenge in there from Nhlapo, who came in late.
Well, Mark, this is an opportunity for Kaizer Chiefs players to put their hands up for the derby next week. Good performance will give the technical team a little bit of food for thought.
Hugo Bruce is in the house, national team coach. Helman Kalele to his left as you look at that picture. The final assistant, of course. In from Solomons. Well, Duba making the challenge with the foot rather than the head. And
yeah, he realized he couldn't get to it, Mark. So he decided to take out the player. But in saying that Bruce is in the house, I'm sure he's looking which of the Kaizer Chiefs players can he bring on board? I mean, it's one of those times when we don't have Kaizer Chiefs playing in Bafana, and it's just something that we're not used to.
Half an hour gone here at Soccer City. Remember, it's a fairly busy Saturday in terms of Betway Premiership action. Tomorrow, just a single game on the menu with TX Galaxy live on your screens here on your World of Champions. They'll be hosting Sekhukhune United in Dobsonville rather than their usual home ground of Bombela. We can tell you SuperSport United have the lead away against Polokwane City. Chance for them to come off the bottom of the table. And in the other match between Golden Arrows and Amazulu, the derby being played at Hammersdale, no score in the early stages of that particular game.
Once again, Kaizer Chiefs unsuccessful in building out of the back and giving away a corner unnecessarily. Something I'm sure the coach will discuss at halftime.
Mark gets his head to that corner from Sendami, and Dupré looking to progress forward. Body will settle for the throw in here. Now Mabocha a little further forward to Maklatsi. Kuniko with the last touch there. All for SuperSport, by the way, in that game away at Polokwane City at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium, scored by former Chiefs man Christian Saili.
Chiefs giving away lots of free kicks and corners. Marumo unfortunately not able to capitalize. The defensive structure of Chiefs in the back playing out, something they need to look at going into the second half.
Towards the back post now. Vuma went for it. Seri Dion's been the man that they've been aiming for at that back post.
Yeah, it's just that he's not able to get to that ball aerially. Maybe they need to change the approach.
The live log will show Gallants dropping a place because Arrows are drawing at the moment, so they pick up a point. Not out of relegation danger yet, Gallants, particularly if SuperSport could hold on to their lead at the moment. Those are the two games left. The Chipper match is at home, and the Magesi game away concludes their season. Now Dion. Sendami's running into the area. Dion maybe a little slow with the service. Stripped of possession. Shabalala here. Still Shabalala. Yeah, it's a Gallants throw in. It's the sliding tackle from Nhlapo. The ball last touched Shabalala before going out.
Well, Nhlapo doing ever so well. Dion being dispossessed. He's looking for a foul, but there was no foul whatsoever.
No foul there for Sendami as well. Oh, Ruby last time touched the ball, was picking it up out of the back of the net, but he's given this away to Duba. Big strong challenge from Sibia to fix up a rather poor goalkeeping error. Well, that was almost a chance to make it 2 for Kaizer Chiefs. There's going to to be a little more circumspect, Washington Arubi. And thank Vusi Sibia for some evasive defensive action. Mabocha brought down by Dupria.
Very erratic Marumo build up, losing possession after just winning a free kick. Chiefs need to use every opportunity. This could be a different Marumo Gallant team coming out after the halftime break. There's Mango on the bench, which is often the player that they bring on. We'll have to wait and see.
Now Sindami gets the flick on. Sedi Dion cedes the foul. It's a picture of frustration here for him, but not much going his way at the moment. Been nice and busy though, real bustling and hustling there on the Kaizer Chiefs defenders.
Hasn't been effective in holding the ball up. He's been busy commanding his team, coaching them, but hasn't really had any impact in Quinica and Cross having to be exposed at the back.
Guba gets a knock in the back. Referee took a time about making the call.
Yeah, well, he's pleading that he played the ball and not the man, and the referee doesn't want to have anything to do with that. He feels that Duba was fouled. Let's look at it closely. Yeah, I think it's correct, because Sibia didn't get the ball. He didn't get any contact with the ball, and he took Duba out instead.
Taylor provided the ball in. Cross is unsure where it went. In fact, a little bemused by the decision that goes against him.
Both teams not able to capitalize on set play.
Well, they're making a bit of progress down the flank of Marumo Gallants. Can they convert all this possession into some decent opportunities? Mabocha gets a free kick here. This game really has been a bit stop-start at the moment.
Dupree must be careful. He hasn't yet been booked, but once again, a bookable tackle from Dupree.
Sindami, that's a lot better. Good clearing header from Matt. Can Nube get this back in again? It's Dion. Matiani's in there. Claiming a half-hearted appeal really for a handball. Sindami takes us away from Dupria. Dupria, and they pushed him in the back, and then they've given away a rather needless free kick. That'll go against... will it go against Dupria, or will it go against Solomons? Solomons will get the yellow card. Oh, he's given a lot of fouls away, Dylan Solomons.
Often that happens when you're late. Like we see here, Dupree chasing him. Dupree is the initial one, but it's Solomons that misses the ball. Erratic defending. Had he been inside that line, it could have been a penalty.
Yet another free kick opportunity. This time Mokobodi's going to take it rather than Sindami. Let's see what they've been working on the training ground.
Well, they haven't tested Buma yet.
Mokobodi goes for goal, and a touch over the top from Buma. Was that headed in?
Much better effort from Marumo Gallants.
set-piece duties remain with Tapelo Mokobodi. And again, the numbers are in that penalty area, and they're crowding in on goalkeeper Vuma as well.
Possibly the option sometimes should be a short corner. When you have that many numbers and you just hoof the ball in, the chances are the defending team will have the upper hand. There we see, good save there from Vuma.
Now the corner to the back post. Cross got a touch to it. Slap in the air, Sindami's in there. Chiefs will win this aerial battle and clear. Maklatsi got a touch above the head of Shabalala. I suppose that's not terribly difficult. Here is Sindami now, left-footed strike, and the follow-up in the back of the net. Vuma played it into the path of the defender Matiani, who has got his 6th career goal, having scored against Supersport United earlier this season. Now grabs another. And Farouk, surely well-deserved for Marumo Gallants.
Well-deserved, great effort. Question marks about Kaizer Chiefs' defense. It was something that was going to happen eventually. We saw the number of fouls. We saw the inability to play out. And yes, Marumo being very patient. Here you see, ball unable to be cleared. Matlatsi winning the ball. And once again, it's a 2v1 situation there. Matlatsi able to pinpoint his pass. There we see the initial shot, well struck, and the follow-up. Brilliant. Good goal there from Marumo Gallants. Question marks about the defending, Mark.
Matiani sticking this in with a left foot as well.
Yeah, you're going to ask questions. Who was marking? Where's Matiani when that particular effort was scored from Matiani?
The 36-year-old has the goal. Not sure there's been an older goal scorer this season in the Betway Premiership.
Also, Mark, 42 minutes and they score the equalizer. You'd have liked to see Kaizer Chiefs going into the change room with that 1-goal cushion. But now they've got to start over and look to maybe come out the second half to score the 2nd goal. Mind you, Mark, Marumo Gallants haven't been that solid in defense, especially with balls played in behind. And the score flatters them as well, 1-1. I think both teams, it's a fair reflection of this first half.
Now Chapo heading it in, shot from range. Mokobodi putting that over the top.
Well, that goal is going to give Marumo some added confidence. It's how Kaizer Chiefs is going to turn things around. Halftime team talk, technical team looking to probably change a couple of things.
Solomon clears this away. Mabocha certainly handled that, but the referee's allowed play to continue. Clearing header from Quinica. Well, there's always the danger with Kaizer Chiefs with those 2 big fixtures ahead that the players have half a mind on the derby here next Saturday. Remember, that's a sold-out affair. The Nedbank Cup final in Durban on May the 10th. Tickets have yet to go on sale, but we expect that they'll be gobbled up in double quick time.
Well, that was always a concern for us when we were Chiefs. When we come to a cup, the game before that was always a concern in that do players sometimes save themselves for the derby. I suppose in this case, a lot of fringe players coming in, and I don't think they should try to reserve themselves. But once again, a little bit of over aggressiveness defensively from Chiefs. They need to settle down.
Now Solomon's trying to prevent this from going for a corner. Is he successful? Just just checking on the yellow cards. Duba, we feel, has got a yellow card, so he's going to miss the derby.
And you want him there. He's on quite a number of goals, 5 goals this season.
Top scorer for Chiefs.
So you want him there, but unfortunately, player moving in the opposite direction. Duba saw it fit to foul him. Very unnecessary.
Remember, Serino and Mordi are both out today. They'll be back for the game next Saturday. Last touch there off Matlatsi. I think they get a bit lucky here. Gallants, no, the referee's turned it round. It's going to be a goal kick. There's Gaston Serino in the crowd today on the naughty chair. A tough battle there. Mart frustrated with his teammates, looking to play the early ball up for Dupree. But, feeling perhaps the front runners for Kaizer Chiefs not making the space, not moving away from the markers in the way that they should.
Seems that a goal has just given Marumo some impetus. We've seen them come alive. Lots of fouls there from Kaizer Chiefs. Solomon's once again unable to get the ball out of that defensive third. And I'm sure that's something the coach is probably now alluding to, talking to his players on the bench. Obviously, this is a picture of frustration. When a coach does that, it's because he's frustrated.
Now, Matlatsi. Mabocha, inviting ball. Kunika had the last touch. Can Lilepo keep us in play? Does so.
Very promising cross from Matlatsi.
And that'll be the end of the first half. So Kaizer Chiefs taking the early lead with an excellent strike from Lilepo, but Marumo Gallants just plying away. And eventually, Farouk, they got their due rewards.
Well, absolutely. It was a moment of individual brilliance from Lilepo. But Kaizer Chiefs never settled playing out of defense, made many errors, gave away many fouls. And I think this is something that Coach Nabi is going to allude to going into the second half. For Marumo, patience paid off at the end.
Machiani mentioned earlier might have been the oldest scorer this season. That's not the case. In fact, Bradley Grobler and Thabo Matlaba of the now defunct Royal AM have scored this season, and they are a little bit older than Trevor Matiani. But excellent finish from the centre-back, taking the opportunity after Bruce Wuma parried the shot from Msendami. So 45 minutes. Yusuf Mart might go into the right-back position in place of Solomons, and that means Ingobo comes in for Mart in the middle. Emergency measures, it would seem, Farouk Khan.
Well, absolutely. After the lapses of concentration in midfield, Pele being brought out, they look to stabilize that midfield with Mtetwa, and they look to bring Ingobo to give them a bit of offensive opportunities moving forward.
Now Yusuf Mart in the right back position is something we've not seen all that often, if ever, before. The Chiefs really do have a bit of a crisis in terms of injuries at the back. Reeve Frosler is out. He would be another option on the right hand side. Centre back, of course, Dortley out with surgery. He won't play again this season. Inacio Miguel's missed the last 2 matches with injury. He is on the bench for today's game, but with 3 yellow cards, they might elect not to bring him on and risk him for the derby. He's obviously working his way back to full fitness. Given him Simango injured in the last couple of weeks, and Edmilson in the last game against Chippa United. So this centre-back pairing of Cross and Quinica is something new for Chiefs, and now Mart on the right-hand side, equally experimental as far as Chiefs are concerned.
Well, you know, we spoke off air, and I thought they'd probably consider a McCarthy, you know, and Quinica to go to right back, as you pointed out, but it seems like We're going to look at Mart, and maybe he's going to surprise us. We will see him darting down that right-hand flank.
Certainly a player with plenty of energy up against Nsindami, who kept Dylan Solomons busy. Good header from Ngube. Good first touch from Mashiani. Cross finds Lilepo. Mashiani now pushing forward. Shabalala and Tetwa. The two midfield replacements, Ngobo and Mtetwa. Lilepo for Kaizer Chiefs. Can they restore their lead? Got off to a cracking start in the first half.
Well, they look a bit more balanced with Mtetwa in midfield, but it's up front that it matters most. Is Duba going to get the supply? Is Dupree going to be able to use his pace?
Now stolen away here. There was a bit of positive enterprise from Nemtangela.
Kaizer Chiefs need to be careful on transition. As much as they want to get that second goal, they need to be tight at the back. Obviously, with Mart coming in on the right-hand side, it limits them in midfield going forward.
Now Mart in possession. Duba comes off the line. It's Mtetwa. Now with the Ngobo with that left foot of his. Never the quickest though about the park. And a chance for him to maybe stake a claim for a place in the Derby starting lineup. By the way, the three teams involved this weekend in African club competition representing South Africa are all being pressed into league service in catch-up matches on Wednesday. That's your next Betway Premiership action after tomorrow's Galaxy Sekhukhune game. Pirates playing Sekhukhune United at the Orlando Stadium, live on your World of Champions. Followed, or at the same time, Mamelodi Sundowns hosting Richards Bay. And the third game on Wednesday, Stellenbosch up against Chipper. You can watch all of those live on your World of Champions, all streaming, of course, on DSTV. Sindami does well. Clearance was from Quinica. There's the goal scorer, Trevor Matiane, with his centre-back partner, Sibia. Sibia only just into the team over the last couple of matches, spent most of the season on the bench.
Chiefs can exploit the left-hand side where Lolipo has acres of space. It's how quickly they can find him.
Now Matlatsi, Mokobodi, Ntajela out wide. Sindami cuts inside. Is he going to go for goal? Good challenge. No, an illegal challenge by Duba. And a real freshie there. And Duba, having already gone into the book, runs the risk of another card and an early shower. I'm not too sure that would have been a bookable offence, Farouk.
Well, Duba is just trying to win the ball back, and in the process, Zindami hit one of those freshes, but very fortunate to have given Marumo to have gotten that particular decision. It's in a very promising situation, Mark. Kaizer Chiefs have their work cut out. Challenge is that Buma sometimes parries instead of catching. We saw him in that particular goal playing the ball back into play.
Now Gallants with an opportunity to go ahead here, going for goal just over the top.
Now the best of efforts there. You can see he's disappointed. Strikes it, but never dipping it enough to give Buma any problem.
Mokobodi's been taking most of the set pieces along with Sendami in this game for Marumo Gallants. Now cross clears. It comes straight back. Dion here looking for Mahlatsi. Mokobodi. Nube. There's a hard first touch there, and free kick will go Kaizer Chiefs' way.
Marumo sitting back in the medium block and looking to see if Chiefs can play in the space in behind.
This is Sibia who clears it up field. No one really chasing onto it. Now Sindami puts on the afterburner, finds the ball, finds Mart, I should say. Oh, it's too strong. Well, you can't fault Yusuf Mart for work ethic and trying to get involved as much as he can.
Well, he did extremely well. He did much better than what we saw in the first half from Solomons, but in saying that, a little bit too heavy of a pass.
Tetra clears, Ngobo assisting him. That's disappointing again for the fans. There is an air of frustration. You can hear a lot of mumbling coming from the crowd at the moment.
Well, I think the frustration is the quality is lacking. Chiefs is giving a lot of effort. You can't fault them for the effort, but it's just the application that has been wanting.
Gallants coming into this game having lost 8 of their 12 away league matches this season. Not the greatest record on the road, but they'll be delighted with a point here. They lost at home to Kaizer Chiefs in September when these two teams met. And now the referee to stop the game to allow some treatment. Nimtajela is the player who needs some medical assistance. So there's Abdulsalam Wado, former Morocco international, played in the Premier League for Fulham, a big centre-back, and in the Africa Cup of Nations final back in 2004 when Morocco lost to the host Tunisia in the final. Certainly a strong pedigree. He was in South Africa last year with the Vita Club of DR Congo when they lost to Stellenbosch in the early rounds of the Confeds Cup. Game played at the Cape Town Stadium, and he resigned immediately in the post-match press conference, telling us all how difficult it was to coach in Kinshasa.
Well, it seems to have made a difference with Gallant. They're a more structured team, and if you look at the last five results, they haven't done too badly. 8 out of 15 points, not a bad return. Can't say the same about Chiefs, only 3 out of 15, and today would have been really important. It's still a lot to do, but they need to get all 3 points, Kaizer Chiefs, to ensure they stay in that top 8.
Chiefs have won 5 of 11 home matches in the league this season. That is a record of less than 50%. And in your day, Farouk, in the decades there before, a home game against Kaizer Chiefs was pretty much all 3 points, or in the early days, all 2 points in the bag.
Well, I tell you, when we played at home, I think the opposition was just admiring our teams and our players at that time, because if they got a point away and we were at home, it was a big achievement.
Here's Shabalala. Duba. Mavocha's the defender. He clears her well. Comes off mark. Quinika with the clearance.
I still believe Chiefs can win this. They just need to get the likes of Dupree on the ball, Duba on the ball.
Now, here might be a chance. Duba in possession, Dupree in the middle, Shabalala. Well, he fainted there to shoot. He certainly sent the defender the wrong way, but flag is up. Initial offside against Gallants, and then against Kaizer Chiefs.
Well, I think the referee wasn't watching the assistant on the far side, and he had flagged that Marumo Gallants were offside, but instead on the other side the assistant there put up his flag, and that is why the Chiefs bench, they're fuming.
Well, the ref is coming across now to the linesman to get a better understanding, and the point will be, I had my flag up first, so it's actually an offside against Gallants,
yes.
and not an offside against Chiefs. So it should be a Kaizer Chiefs free kick inside their own half. Now, Pirates, you are next. What does that mean, Farouk? If it's 1-1 here, does it mean we're going to have a draw next week?
Well, I tell you, the board was made before they got here. They're still optimistic. They feel they can still do it. We'll have to wait and see. Let's hope that Chiefs are able to get the result. So maybe that's what they're hoping to do next week.
Let's cross. Mashiani. Maklatsi takes him on for pace, and well, Mashiani just brushed off the ball very easily.
Why doesn't he release the ball, Mark? He's running with the ball when there's players waiting for the pass.
Tetwa, Lilepo, Shabalala. Here's Mashiani now. And again, doesn't get the pass away. Referee says play on. Here comes Maklatsi. Well, ball's out. Nange knocks it into touch. Mashiani claiming an injury there. So is Mokobodi. Now let's have a look at those incidents. Mashiani hardly got touched. I think it's the embarrassment of losing the ball twice in a row.
Yeah, I think Mashiani
following through on the knee of Mokobodi.
Yes, Mokobodi took the brunt of that tackle, but I think you're correct. I think that the embarrassment of having to lose possession twice, a player that has been so much expectation and unfortunately hasn't lived up to it.
Duncan Lechesa along with Abdulstam Wadu, the think tank at Marumo Gallants.
Probably considering how can they impact the game with a substitute.
Tebogo Potsani there, maybe he's coming on. He can add some live wire activity down the flank for Kaizer Chiefs.
Quick player, very dynamic.
Castillo to come on as well. That'll be excellent to see from a Chiefs perspective after his long sidelining when he broke his leg.
Well, Chiefs of late had a tendency, to make 5 subs. In the last game, also made 5 subs, and I think it won't be any exception today. They're going to look to use maximum players off the bench.
Castillo to make his second comeback after featuring against Richards Bay in March. Came on as a sub in that game. Out for an effective 5 months. Injured against Supersport United in October, Castillo.
Made a huge impact when he made his debut for Chiefs. But injuries and other factors have led him not to play as often as we would have liked to see him.
It looks as if Dupria will be going off. Potsane will be coming on as well. It's another double change in the offing here from Kaizer Chiefs midway through the second half, having made a double change at the start of this half. Shabalala opens up a bit of space here. Shabalala, ball in for Duba, surely a chance for number 2, and it hits the upright. Lovely work from Shabalala to set that up. Duba should have finished it. It hits the upright and away to safety. Real let off here for Marumo Gallants.
Yeah, Marumo pushing a high line there, and Duba making a tiniest run. He's not offside. Great run. Unfortunately, the goalpost came to the rescue of Marumo Gallant.
And then following up, Ashley Dupria, watch here, doesn't stick it away. I think he's surprised by the ball coming off the post.
Yeah, he's expected that ball to go in. Instead of timing his run, could have scored the second goal.
So Castillo is on, Dupria and Shabalala go off. Shabalala, I think, has he gone off yet? Yes, he has. Good contribution there from Shabalala, but immediately taken off.
I think the substitution was decided before he had made that contribution, but sometimes players feel that they've been taken off for an error, which I don't think was the case. There was a wake-up call for Marumo Gallant.
Yeah, the defense was split open there. Now a little shove by Tetra on Mhlatsi, just showing the need at this level also for a little bit of physical presence in a game like this. So Marumo Gallants are going to make their changes. Kamohelo Mhlatsi will go off. First man to come on for him is Tapelo Dudlu. One goal already this season for Dudlu in the Betway Premiership against TS Galaxy in October. And then the other change will be Lungisa Kumalo, who comes on up front for Sedi Dion. Kumalo in his first season in the top flights, with plenty of experience previously in the Motsepe Foundation Championship, for second tier experience for Kumalo. Now yellow card goes against Nange. That's rather unnecessary.
That's a bookable offence. Should be booked for that. See, the coach looks concerned. Chiefs look like they're on the ascendancy. They need to just convert that dominance we've seen in the last couple of minutes into a goal.
Left foot of Ngobo delivers. Good strong header away. First was Nange who gave the free kick away, and then helping out with the clearing thereof.
Look at the coach. Coach is really animated. Nabi. Nabi in Arabic means prophet. So is he the prophet?
Well, I'll leave that for you and other Kaizer Chiefs affiliated people to have an opinion on. Best not to offer one. Here is Matiani forward. Clearance away from Mart. Finds Lelepo. Little touch in there from Ngube, but the foul was given against Mokobodi. Has been a little bit stop-starty at times this game.
Has been.
No free flow to it.
Has been, and it's going to be decided by probably another moment of individual brilliance. I can see that. I've seen this movie play out before.
Or a mistake, maybe.
Yeah, could be.
There's cross. Now Castillo. Venezuelan international, of course, has played in World Cup qualifiers, played against Brazil, but obviously the broken leg kept him out of action since October. So Mabocha to take this free kick. 33-year-old is Mabocha. He had a season with Sekhukhune United in the last campaign, came back to Gallants, who he had served before. Sendami takes it. Little kick for the touch. That's gone all the way in from the free kick. The Zimbabwean scores from an incredible range. Vuma beaten, and Gallants go into the lead. What a goal that is.
Well, a lot of questions need to be asked. Ball bouncing in front of the keeper, Vuma there. Did it have the sufficient touch to it? Was the goal scorer unmarked? Let's look at it again, mark and see. Ball played in. Looks like he could be marginally offside. Just the slightest of touches. But when the ball was played, was he offside? There's the touch. And
is there a touch, Farouk? Let's have a look here.
Well, let's look closely. No, there's no touch. I just think the bounce is what caught Vuma off guard. If it's a touch, it's probably just touching his hair more than anything else.
Goal for Nsendame, the Zimbabwean, from an incredible range. And so Gallants, having been down after 10 minutes, lead here by a goal to nil. By 2 goals to 1.
Well, we were hoping that we'd see a different performance in the second half. And you can see by the expression of that Kaizer Chiefs fan, not something that was expected.
Well, are they going to miss out on the top 8 again, Kaizer Chiefs, for a second successive season? 10th place in the last campaign was the worst ever finish in the club's lengthy history. Forward by Mabocha. Now through the middle, looking for Duba, who struck the upright just a few minutes before Gallants took the lead. Might have been a completely different story had that gone into the back of the net.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth, Mark. I was going to say that particular, if that had gone in, that particular action could have taken this game in a totally different direction in favor of Kaizer Chiefs.
Tetwa wins the challenge in the middle. Time is now running out for Chiefs. They've got Round about 20 minutes to go.
Well, they have enough time. They need to show their character and their ability to say never die and probably come back, but that's going to require a huge effort from Kaizer Chiefs.
It'll be fascinating to see how the live log looks and where Kaizer Chiefs stand now in terms of racing for the top 8. Gallants were 3 points behind them at the start of play today. Now looking for another one. As Mokobodi bitten off a bit more than he can chew. Good defensive work from Cross. Now stretcher needed. Well, this is the goal scorer. Has he injured his hamstring in Sendami, or is that just cramp?
Could be cramp. It could also be an effort to slow things down, to kill the rhythm of the game.
I'm not sure Kumalo got any, or Nange rather, got anything near that.
No, I don't think he did. I think it's just the bounce, that wrong-footed Boomer.
Makes for an incredible goal. Well, he's either struggling with cramp or he has hurt his hamstring.
Well, he's pointing to the thigh, to the quad muscle.
Well, there's the live log. Chiefs will slip out of the top 8. Gallants will be behind them on goal difference only. Polokwane 1, Supersport 1 is still the score up at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Limpopo. It's still goalless. Golden Arrows and Amazulu in the derby, KwaZulu-Natal derby in Hammersdale. Gudlu. Nube. Handball from Kumalo.
It's surprising that we don't see the likes of Mango coming on. He normally is the impact player. Marumo Gallants setting up that block, that green wall. These Chiefs going to be able to penetrate.
Now Castillo wins that, and Tetra gets it forward. That's positive for Kaizer Chiefs. This is the Lepo now. Not seen much of him since he scored that goal after 10 minutes. Header back in from Potsani, but only as far as Mabocha. A throw in here for Chiefs. Sendami back on the field after his hamstring cramp. 15 minutes to go. Ilepo. Good turn from Potsani. He's got the pace. Can he get it square? Potsani goes for goal himself. And then Nange heads that ball away for a corner. Well, obviously not enough faith with his fellow strikers.
Well, Potsani showing some great skill there, and took a bit of defending from Nange there to keep that one out. But this is what Kaizer Chiefs need to do. Run at that defense because they're sitting back.
Chiefs looking to bring on Tashrik Morris. Will be their final change. In Ngobo, with the meantime, with the left foot, curls it in. Header away from Sibia. And a big boot forward. Mashiani is being hunted down here. Back to Vuma. Mabocha. Nange. Taken away by Potsani. He's added some energy to the side. Ball through the middle from Castillo in search of Potsani.
Well, Nange very careless there.
There are a few players amongst the subs who are making a little bit of a statement for selection next week, and Tetra's brought some muscle in there. Castillo looks as classy as he ever did, and Pozzane, well, he's a real handful for any defense.
Well, clearly the coach is going to have to look at it and say, look, what I've seen obviously offers me a different option. Or is he going to go with the tried and tested?
Cross. Ilepo all the way back. Tetra knows that you need to give a ball to a player like Pozzane who could do something creative. Tetra just spreading it around.
Well, goals has been scarce for Kaizer Chiefs, having scored 23 out of 25 games is a concern. Can they score that important equalizer?
And Sindami now waits for a little bit of support. Well, Marumo Gallants have never won against Kaizer Chiefs. We mentioned that at the beginning of the broadcast. 3 draws and 2 wins for Chiefs in the 5 previous meetings between the two clubs. So Morris on, and the player who makes way is Mashiani.
Chiefs throwing caution to the wind, sacrificing a defender for an attacker.
So Cross will sit a bit on the left-hand side of this back 3. Mart, Nange, Mart again, taken away by Pozzane. Here's Duba. Defender is Vuzi Sibia. Talk about Chiefs' scoring record, Farouk. 30 goals conceded in those 25 matches. It's their worst, their joint worst defensive record at this stage of the season. Have to go back to the 2021 campaign. Marumo Gallants, in the meantime, are going to look to make a couple of changes themselves, use up their quota of subs, and take a bit of time out of this game.
Well, if they keep the ball and defend with it as we see them doing, Chiefs will have a bit of a problem. It's when in transition they lose possession, especially in the last third, that they can be punished.
This will be a first run out for Ibrahim Konde from Guinea, joining Marumo Gallants in the January transfer window. He comes in to help out in defense. Well, he's a Guinea international with a couple of caps to his name. And Pambaniso, arguably the tiniest man in the Betway Premiership, is on as well, with Mokobodi and Msindami going off for these closing stages. So all the changes now made.
It looks like he's brought in those two players just to lock this game. He realizes that he has 1 foot in the door for that 3 points.
Well, is that going to be a free kick in Chiefs' favour? A chance to try and get themselves back in level on the score sheet.
Well, they have approximately 7 minutes plus some referee's optional time. Great opportunity to level matters.
Time is beginning to run out now. We're down to the final 7 minutes of this game.
A lot can happen in that 7 minutes. It's about Kaizer Chiefs or Marumo ensuring that they put in the work to win all 3 points.
Mart now looking for the height of Morris. Contribution from Zibia was offside against Kaizer Chiefs to add insult to injury. So Mervyn van Beek with the flag up there, which means that Gallants have got a chance to clear their lines.
Well, it seems like Morris has just gone a little bit too early. Didn't time his run sufficiently.
Our colleague Grant Bissett in the front row there.
Yeah. Seeing him there is a little bit unfamiliar.
Yeah, enjoying the afternoon off.
Well, it's going to be a couple of minutes of masterful defending against an all-out attack from Kaizer Chiefs. But it's not what is going to give Kaizer Chiefs the ascendancy. Very, very, very poor pass there from Lilepo. Well, it makes one thing, Mark. You know, we spoke about other players focusing on the derby. With that type of application, it makes one think.
Yeah, there have been a lot of stray passes in this game today. Maybe a little bit of nerves as well. They're under pressure. Pambaniso pushing forward. Is there another yellow card coming out here?
Well, Kwinika, you asked for it. There was no business, doing what you did. You can see he's late. Ball is gone, and look at that. He is very fortunate. Is he just going to get a yellow? Yes, I think he's going to get the yellow. That is very, very aggressive. Excessive force.
So Kaizer Chiefs facing up to another Gallants free kick. Msendami's gone off the field. They'll be pleased about that. But there'll still be a chance for someone else to try and replicate that fine goal from the Zimbabwean international that separates these two teams here at Soccer City. 4 minutes to go. Presumably a fair amount of time to be added on for all of these injury breaks.
Well, that free kick has just given Marumo a bit of a breather. You don't want to give them that when you are on the ascendancy offensively. And you can see the fans there, the Queen saying, just 3 points.
Well, that would require 2 more goals in these closing stages for Kaizer Chiefs. Well, the derby next Saturday, then the cup final the Saturday thereafter. Big menu ahead for Kaizer Chiefs. They would have wanted to go into the derby with their tails up. And a draw with Chippa United last Saturday. Now trailing here against Gallants, unless Duba can change things around. Morris waits in the middle. Duba, little floater in there. Oh, and Castillo's header is put over the top by the acrobatic 39-year-old Washington Arubi.
Yeah, disappointing for the fans, disappointing for the Kaizer Chiefs faithful. That was a fantastic opportunity. Duba doing ever so well. Castillo, look at him timing his run in there, showing you where he wants it, but there's Castillo coming late in, and excellent execution. It's Morris who took away the defense, and it's Castillo that made that fantastic effort.
Now we have corner kick, and once again Ngobo. Clearing header. Kaizer Chiefs throw in.
Well, not the best of corner kicks, easily cleared. Time remaining. Chiefs need to do something special.
This is Cross with the left foot. Looking for Morris. Gets the little flick on there. Washington Arubi will be looking to waste time now and see his team over the line. This will be valuable points on the road for Marumo Gallants.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what additional time the referee adds on.
Now Morris, Ngobo, Potsani. We hear from down pitch side that 5 minutes are going to be added on by referee Gasa. Vuma, Kunika, Mart on the right hand side, the makeshift right back for the second half of this game, replacing Dylan Solomon.
Oh, desperate times call for desperate measures. Was it the right tactic to use, putting Mart onto that? There we see again, not the best of touches there from Ponsane.
Ngobo, Duba, cut out. Tajera, it's Ludlu runs into a bit of traffic. Now forward by Ngobo, doesn't find Morris. So stoppage time is where we are, and 5 minutes confirmed by the fourth official. All the changes made. Kaizer Chiefs facing yet another disappointing result in the Betway Premiership. We can tell you it's still 1-1 between Polokwane City and Supersport United. Supersport desperate for points. Amazulu, however, have taken the lead against Golden Arrows. A late goal from Iguodaro. That's going to strengthen Amazulu's chances of a top 8 finish, but maybe help Kaizer Chiefs in that Arrows are one of the teams chasing them. Big strong clearance away. So the clock now says a minute, almost a minute and a half of the 5 elapsed, so there is still time for Kaizer Chiefs. They need to really get some energy going here now. Ngobo Mtetwa, back to Ngobo. Rides the challenge, should get the free kick. Set piece opportunity here for them in these closing stages.
Very important set piece that Chiefs need to capitalize on. Ngobo doing ever so well to win it. It's in a position where Chiefs need to get numbers in. Morris could be a target as well. We have Castillo there as well, and Tetwa. So the players they have in the box have the ability to capitalize on this free kick. Let's see what happens.
In from Nglobo, straight through. No one able to get the touch onto that. Marumo Gallants' defending was perhaps a little suspect. That was a good opportunity for Amakosi.
Ball watching from Gallants. Quindika on the end of it, couldn't get to it. I think he should have gone with the head. Instead he went with the foot. Had he made a diving header, could have gotten to it. See the disappointment from Nabi.
Novo. Mart. Now a bit of space from Tetwa. Can he feed the ball in? Morris plays it out wide here to Potsani. And Tetwa in support. Mart again. A little bit low on the ground. Dealt with fairly comfortably by Conde. Or excuse me, by Nange. The clearance from Pambaniso into his own half, and so cross gives this back to the goalkeeper. We've got 90 seconds roughly left for Kaizer Chiefs in this encounter. Cross again. High ball up. Potsani is out on the flank. Inside to Duba. Still with Chiefs. Now on Tetwa. This amongst the last chances. Morris goes up. Castillo lays it back. Is Nglobo going to have a go? He's looking for Duba. Duba brings it back. Miscues it. Morris trying to get on the end of it. And the clearance away from Conde.
Well, less than a minute mark to go. That's going to have to take a miracle for Kaizer Chiefs to at least get 1 point. But this is the last throw of the dice.
It'll come from Bradley Cross. Another in-swinging left footer. Out comes Arubi. Big punch, and he gets the free kick as well. So a relieving free kick here for Marumo Gallants. You can see him celebrating. The goalkeeper has Abdeslam Wadu won the first ever game for Gallants against Kaizer Chiefs. What is the future of this man, Nasruddin Nabi? Is he the answer for Kaizer Chiefs as they head to the possibility of a second successive season without top 8 football?
Well, I think the net bank would determine that would answer that particular question, Mark.
Gallants celebrate like they've won the cup here. Big victory for Coach Wadu. Huge disappointment for Nabi. Gallants join Kaizer Chiefs on 30 points as Amakosi slip out of the top 8. It really was a comeback of note from Marumo Gallants, and on the balance of play, well, you can't begrudge them all 3 points.
Well, they did what they needed to do, come away from home. It's a historic victory, as you said. Never beat Chiefs away, and Chiefs will have to do a lot of introspection before that important derby.
A couple of the substitutes certainly put their hands up for Kaizer Chiefs next week in the derby, but overall, once again, lots of disappointing performances. Bruce Vuma beaten twice in this encounter.